creatures of the night? It's your girl Tati. Let's talk about the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. So much happened, and I kind of want to talk about things not in order, but if I do that, then I'm probably going to forget things, so I'm going to keep it in order, but certain things I'm just going to talk about super quickly. Now, we did have the pre-show, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang match versus Sanjay and them. Nothing to talk about. Obviously, Bang Bang Scissor Gang won that. Now, we did have Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale teaming up against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I honestly felt best case scenario was to have Julia and Sky take the win. I don't understand what is it in this Kool-Aid with Willow and Chris Statlander right now. I just don't get it. They're all really great girls, but there's a story to be told here, and for whatever reason, we still have nothing. We still know nothing in terms of Sky Blue and her teaming up with Julia Hart. Nothing is coming out of that, and I really felt that they should have won that match, and it's unfortunate that Tony Khan doesn't know how to tell stories. Now, let's get into the main card. We started off with our stepdaddy versus Daniel Garcia in a really great match for the TNT title. I know a lot of people wanted Daniel Garcia to win. However, Christian's been working really, really hard with this title, and I still felt like it was not really Daniel Garcia's time, especially since Edge had got injured, well, Adam got injured or whatever. It kind of felt a little random for them to kind of throw Daniel Garcia into it. But either way, decent match. If it wasn't for Nick Wayne and the whole patriarchy being ringside, being a family, sticking together and making sure that our stepdaddy retains the title, then Christian probably could have lost, but I had no issues with the interference or whatever. I do feel like that was the right call for Christian to retain the title. After that, we had the Continental Crown Championship, Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. This was pretty good. I did really enjoy this. I was kind of hoping that Eddie Kingston would just really come alive here, and for the most part, I think he did. And it kind of seemed like at times that Bryan Danielson was going to take the win, but luckily for Eddie Kingston, he ends up retaining all three of those titles. And if you ask me, it's an overkill to be walking around with 3 titles. So it is what it is. Obviously, he said something the other week about if he beat Bryan had to shake his hand after the match. And it seemed like Bryan did not want to do that. But then again, Bryan surprises us all, shakes his hand, raised his hand, and even, gave some props to Eddie Kingston for, giving a really great match. And, it is what it is. It seems like that whole situation is over between Bryan and Eddie, maybe. Not 100% sure, but the issues between Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli will never be over, so that's another story for another day. Really great match. I know Bryan Danielson this year, in comparison to last Revolution against MJF, does not compare, at least not to me, but it was still a really great effort from both these guys. They did a really, really great job. All right, on to the 8-man scramble whatever match. We had Wardlow, we had Hobbs, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Hook, Chris Jericho for whatever reason, Magnus, and Dante Martin. Very early in the match, we actually had all the meaty guys in the ring, and the crowd is chanting out meat and everything else related to meat or whatever. It was actually pretty cool to see these 4 guys in the ring. They're all flexing and doing all these things to show that they're the meatier guy out of everyone. It was really fun. The match was decent, and one thing that I actually appreciated about this match is that a lot of times we see with these multi-man matches that they get really chaotic, messy, and sometimes it's like, you know what, this is too messy for me to actually enjoy. But this time, I think they did a really good job at containing, the craziness with having all these guys in the ring and not giving us too much. I think they did a really great job with that for once. Now, for me, it was either Powerhouse Hobbs or Wardlow take the win here, and we had Wardlow taking the win. I did mention on my prediction video that Wardlow was already next in line. However, Swerve and Hangman got in front of him or whatever. So this is pretty much them saying, well, he was next in line anyway, let's give him a win. Here's what I did not like about this. Wardlow takes a win giving Dante Martin a wedgie to the fucking sky and then dropping him down with a power bomb. And I'm just wondering, why did Wardlow take a win against Dante out of all the people in this match? Why could it not have been someone else? Powerhouse Hobbs, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, these are bigger names, bigger dudes that he can be in a little mini feud with or whatever, where they can take it to them having like a one-on-one match or a feud, something. Dante Martin, of all people, now there's no shade to Dante, he's really talented and everything, but I felt like we could have picked someone where it would have been a little bit more devastating to see them take that win over. I think Hobbs would have been a great choice. Brian, Chris Jericho, he just was really a factor in this match. But it could have been so much more with this ending. It was really who he took the pin over, because I just feel like anybody could have did that with Dante and win. I just did not like it. That's the only thing I didn't care for. But Wardlow is next in line. You guys, the international title was on the line. Orange Cassidy, your boy Orange Cassidy, against Roderick Strong. Earlier in the pre-show, Orange Cassidy told the best friends, leave your asses in the back, I'm good. Don't come before the match. Don't come during the match. Don't come after the match. That does not sound right. But anyway, that's what he told the boys, and they said, you know what, we're going to stay in the back. We won't come out. And at first, we do have Roderick who comes out with the Undisputed Kingdom. And, oh yeah, and you know what? These motherfuckers came out with Wardlow too. Adam Cole was one of them that came out with Wardlow. I think that's the first time Adam Cole came out with Wardlow during his match. So, I don't know. Whatever the situation was. This was a really great match. When Orange Cassidy took his clothes off, and you saw, you know, obviously he doesn't wrestle with a shirt on. His ribs was taped up with kinesio tape. I mean, I've never seen that before. The way that it was taped up, I was just like, you have just given yourself up as an easy target so that, you know, Roderick can just focus on those ribs the whole fucking match. And that's exactly what Roderick did, giving like 50 million backbreakers in this match up until the point that he took the win. I was shook. I did not expect that at all. I was not expecting to see Orange Cassidy lose the title yet. In the middle of the match, I had to realize, okay, that would be kind of cool that all the members would have had a title. Roderick getting a title, and then obviously Wardlow is going to be going against the winner of the triple threat match for the AEW World title. I don't know when exactly, but that's a title possibly coming into that group too. So I thought that was pretty cool if Roderick would have taken the win, but to actually see him taking the win, was not expecting that at all. And then, hold on, even more surprise, while they celebrated, the celebration barely took off, okay? And then somebody from the audience just ran up to the ring. Now, I'm looking at this and it just looked like some random dude from the audience just wanted to get in a little, you know, celebration mood with the Undisputed Kingdom. But it actually turned out to be Kyle O'Reilly. I was so surprised to see this. Kyle comes in, he hugs on Roderick Strong, and I'm just like, holy shit, I cannot even believe this. I know a lot of people were absolutely surprised about this, but then here they go and give him a shirt to put on. It looked like he's thinking about it. I'm like, well, what you thinking about? That's your boy. You gonna put the shirt on or not? And he actually doesn't. He gives the shirt back and whispers something into Roderick's ears, and then he left. And then he starts walking down the ramp. He turns around and he looks at the boys, and he looked like he was crying or something. I'm just like, bro, you just got here, you crying? I don't know what that was about. But I'm actually really excited to see Kyle O'Reilly. Now, y'all been watching me ever since the whole Devil storyline thing. I've been saying that Kyle O'Reilly was one of those dudes in the mask. Obviously was wrong. And now here he is trying to seemingly might want to get together with the buddies again. But then that doesn't happen. And whatever it is that he told Roderick in his ear, I'm pretty sure we're going to find out a little bit more about it next week, which is really interesting. Congratulations to Roderick Strong. Orange Cassidy, you've done really, really well, despite me not being a fan of yours. But go home and take an actual vacation this time. Heal up and come back. I'm pretty sure everyone will be glad to see you then. Up next, we had Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley versus FTR. My boys came out paying homage to the Road Warriors. It looked really, really great. I thought it was cute. I was a little worried about this match because I was like, these are really two really great teams here, but I'm just not really sure if they're going to give us something better than what we got like 2 weeks ago when they were actually in the ring and had a 20-minute match already. So I was a little concerned about it not being just as great or even much more better. This was actually pretty good. I did enjoy this. Dax, this bro, he was leaking. When I tell you so much blood, there was somebody in the crowd with a sign that said "Mox, bleed on my sign," and I was just like, you know what? I just realized that we haven't seen Moxley bleeding in a really long time, but this time it was Dax that was just bleeding all over the place. Like literally blood is just dripping. It's absolutely insane. And to be honest, I don't even really see what the hell happened for him to be bleeding like that. But great match with these guys. I think this match really shows how great of a team that Jon Moxley and Claudio are. And I have a point that I'm gonna make after we talk about the main event that's gonna come back to this very fucking moment right here. Now, great matchup. Jon Moxley takes the win for his team, giving Dax a sleeper. This dude has lost so much blood. Of course, he's gonna fade when they put him on a sleeper. And I was really happy to see BCC win. I know a lot of people don't care for them, but there's my boys. I love me some BCC. Now, we had Deonna Purrazzo versus Timeless Toni Storm. Deonna comes out first. Then it's time for Toni to come out, and this is Toni's old theme from before she became Timeless Toni Storm, or before Outcast Toni Storm. And she comes out, and it's the whole look: the blonde, long hair, the backwards hat, the black and red getup, and it actually turns out to be Mariah May. Now, they really got me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that was actually Toni Storm. But then here comes Timeless Toni Storm coming out to obviously her new theme, coming out with Luther, and she's looking absolutely great. Has a really great match with Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna kept putting her in an armbar over and over again. She really wanted that win. However, it didn't happen. We did get some interference with Luther distracting the referee while Deonna has her in the armbar. And then Timeless Toni Storm she taps out, but the ref was too busy with Luther to really even pay attention to what's going on. So she had no clue that Toni had tapped out. Mariah May tries to get involved, and she's useless. So Deonna gets her ass out of there. But then that right there was all Toni Storm needed for her to take the win. She retains the title, and honestly, best decision. I don't think that she should lose this title at all. I watched the media scrum after, and she is just absolutely fucking hilarious. So if y'all didn't see the media scrum, all you need to see is Toni Storm. She is absolutely hilarious in these things every single time. I love me some Toni. Lord have mercy. Best match so far in 2024. I know it's just March, just turned March. Takeshita, Will Ospreay, and I said this, you guys, that this was going to be the match of the night. They absolutely delivered. Whatever I was expecting, they exceeded that. They were the crowd was just absolutely in for a treat. They were making noise pretty much the whole time. You can tell that they absolutely appreciated the clinic these two put on tonight. And these two guys, they just never do anything wrong in my eyes. And I'm hoping that Tony Khan, after seeing what Takeshita did, that he really tries to take him seriously and just kind of think, well, what can we do to, give Takeshita what he really deserves? I don't care if he speaks English or not. Like, he deserves to have a better career because he's definitely one of the best performers in AEW, and needless for me to even say, I think he's one of the best wrestlers right now in the whole fucking world. Takeshita is absolutely amazing. These two guys have a really great match. Don Callis is on commentary. He's not being biased over either of these guys, and I'm telling you, they are not fucking playing. This is the only match where, you can watch the whole pay-per-view if you want, but this match right here, don't skip, don't fucking blink or nothing. It's amazing. We did have Takeshita on the top rope with a Will Ospreay going for a brainbuster, and somehow that miss, like the way Will ends up landing awkwardly, hits his back onto the turnbuckle, or maybe the rope, can't tell, but I'll watch that back and see. And now he has this nasty big purple bruise on his back. Oh man, it just looks horrible. He was in a media scrum as well, and he said that he is in a lot of pain, but he'll be good in a few days. Nothing broken or anything like that, if anybody had been wondering if they saw that spot. Really amazing match. Like I said, best match for me so far in 2024. These two guys are just fucking amazing. Will Ospreay, obviously this being his debut match as someone who is all elite, he takes the win after going for a Tiger Driver 91. That's one thing. Probably one of the most dangerous wrestling moves that there is. And then he goes for a hidden blade after that and takes the win. They bow to each other. Kyle Fletcher comes out there, hugs, Will Ospreay, and everything's all good with Don Callis' family so far. I'm loving it. This match right here, when I'm done with this, I'm going to watch this back. And Bleacher Report, these motherfuckers had no problem taking my $50, well, $54.99 by the way, and never even played the stream. A lot of people had the same issues, and they were not able to watch the pay-per-view. Luckily, I do have other ways to be able to watch the pay-per-view for free. But when I love something, I put my money into it. I have no issues with that. But Tony Khan, get it to fucking together and find a streaming service, a credible streaming service to put your shit on. Because in 2024, this type of stuff where people cannot watch the shows after paying $50 fucking dollars, this is unacceptable. Get it together. All right, AEW World Title on the line. Samoa Joe, Hangman, and Swerve. What can I say? First of all, Swerve, this look was very different for you. I can't say I liked it. I can't say I don't like it at all, but it was just very different. Hangman looked the same as usual, Joe. And it made me think, even earlier in the night where I was just like, how come nobody wears any special outfits for pay-per-views anymore? Like, it just seemed like everybody is just wearing what they would have worn on Dynamite and shit. Like, nobody goes out to give us some really great pay-per-view fashions. I don't know what that's about, but they really save those things for the most part for the biggest pay-per-views. And I just feel like every time there's a pay-per-view, why not give us some of your best looks? Like, why not? Anyway, I knew it that Hangman was going to be focusing on Swerve the whole time as if this was a one-on-one matchup. Obviously, Samoa Joe is a factor here in this match. I mean, it's Samoa Joe we're talking about, but Hangman was absolutely just focusing on Swerve. And I knew this was going to be the way that they were going to go with this story to make sure that Samoa Joe wins it, because Hangman's absolutely unhinged here, focusing on Hangman. He even beats up 2 fucking referees just to make sure he gets his way. Like, he's really, really upset and wanted to make sure that no matter what, that Swerve will not win those titles. Title. Now, what he ends up doing after knocking the second referee down, not just knock him down, but he was punching on him and everything. It was absolutely insane. He goes and gets the world title, and he hits Swerve with it twice in the face. And this is after Swerve got this nasty ass bruise right under his eyes. It's all red and purplish and puffed up and everything. I don't know what that's about, but I'm really hoping that this is not like an orbital bone break or whatever. Please, that's what I'm hoping. That's not the case. But he hits him twice in the face with the title and tries to focus on Samoa Joe. We got like a million buckshot lariats here, and we even got Swerve giving a buckshot lariat here too. And Swerve is taken out, but he's still in the ring, and he's just trying to get up. Now, this was a little bit after Prince Nana had already offered his crown to give to Swerve so that he can use the crown to cheat and win. But then Swerve looks at the crown and he gives it back to Nana, and he's like, well, I want to do this the right way. And unfortunately, sometimes doing things the right way don't get you where you want to be. So yeah, Samoa Joe retains the title after putting Hangman in a coquina clutch, and Swerve was this close to breaking it up, but then Hangman tapped, and our champion retained. This was actually a really great match. It went exactly what I thought it was going to be in terms of Hangman kind of putting all his focus onto Swerve rather than the actual prize, which is the title. This is definitely not over. If you saw Swerve's face after losing, he was absolutely freaking devastated. I was just like, holy shit, like, that's what devastation looks like. That's what it looks like to be so close to having the title and just have it taken away from you. Man, the way he looked actually made me feel pretty sad. It was an amazing match, but I think we're going to move on to different things when it comes to Samoa Joe. I do think that Swerve and Hangman, well, maybe not Hangman, Swerve probably get his rematch sometime in the future, but obviously next in line is Wardlow. Great match. All right, you guys, main event. The Young Bucks versus Sting and Darby. And after this, I do have some things to say about Tony Khan. We had this video package of Sting at this theater where he's watching his career. This was mostly New Japan stuff, AEW stuff, or whatever. Things that whatever WWE don't own, they were able to show those type of footages in this clip. And Sting is watching himself. And he's getting emotional, he's smiling, he's laughing and everything. And then he's like, it's showtime, let's do this. His music hits. First things first, we have his sons. They both come out. One is dressed up as Wolfpack Sting and the other one is Surfer Sting. And I thought that was so cute. And then here comes Sting comes out. And I mean, I just thought, holy shit, they're really gonna get me with this, with the tears. But I held it in, I was good. This match, I'm gonna be honest, one of the worst spots I've ever seen in my life was in this match. Darby Allin, once again, I have to jump into this part because I just felt like this was very irresponsible for Tony Khan to just allow shit like this. Now, I know Darby is one of those guys, he's a risk taker, he'll do whatever it is to add to the shock value, whatever. But at some point, Tony Khan has to just be like, you know what, that sounds great, but no, okay? Darby is on this 50 million foot ladder, damn near at the top, and he's gonna jump on one of the Young Bucks. I don't know what it is. There are 6 tables and 2 glass sheets on both of those, on all 6 of those tables that's laid out, okay? One of the Bucks, I can't remember which one of them, he was damn near unconscious laying on top of that. And Darby is going to dive onto the glass and the chairs that is holding the glass. Now, the other Buck comes out and pulls his brother out the way while Darby is midair, and Darby lands on his back onto the glass and on the chairs. The glass obviously shatters and Darby's body's damn near lifeless on the ground. You see Darby's back, right? One minute you just see flesh, then the next second, it's nothing but blood just coming out of his back. And I'm just like, what the actual fuck is this? And I don't get it. I don't get why they need to be doing things like this. I really don't. Darby Allin, I can't remember how old he is, but in a few years, if he wouldn't be able to wrestle, who would actually be surprised? Because he's done a lot of crazy shit that I just don't understand. Anyway, we had tables, we had ladders, chairs, and all these things. And you know what? It was actually a decent match without some of these really high-risk spots that I felt was unnecessary. All right, back to the beginning of the match. Since this is a tornado match, there's no disqualification. Meaning, if somebody wanted to help you, they can help you. And Sting's sons actually get their lick back on the Young Bucks. And that was great to see, but I was hoping that was not going to be something that was going to happen throughout the whole match. It does last for the first few minutes of the match, and then after that, we don't see them anymore for the duration of the match. We had, tables, ladders, and chairs and everything going through, glass and tables. Sting went through tables at least twice that I could remember, maybe 3 times. He even went through glass just like Darby, but not in a horrific way like how Darby did. And no matter what, Sting kept coming up. Now, they even got the tag titles to hit Sting with, which they did. When one of the brothers went to go get the tag title, Ricky Steamboat was just like, hey, you're not going anywhere with that title. They end up hurting Ricky. Ricky falls. And while that's happening, Ric Flair is like, you know what? I should get in this match and get my ass whooped too. And he gets in there and he's covering Sting. He's hovering over his body like, no, leave my buddy alone. Don't touch him. Don't hurt him. And I'm just like, really? And they give him a double super kick and his ass is laying there like some kind of mummy on the ground, on the mat. And I'm just like, ref, doctor, somebody get him the hell out of the ring. I don't want to see this ever again, Sting in the ring for any reason at all. He was already laying on the glass that Sting had went through like a moment earlier, and I'm just like, there's no reason why he needs to be in this. Ricky Steamboat being in it, I didn't even really see the point of that either, but I get it. He's a timekeeper. The titles are right next to him. Obviously, he's going to try to make an effort to take the titles away from them before they can get in the ring with it and hurt Sting. This was actually not bad in terms of when you get past all the unnecessary shit. This was actually a great little send-off for Sting, and Sting ends up taking the win. I think he gave maybe Matt Jackson a Scorpion Deathlock for the win. Obviously, everyone in the crowd is standing up. They're cheering. Everybody's crying. Grown-ass men are crying. I love when they get those camera shots of that. And Sting is giving a little, speech or whatever, and Darby's trying to kind of rush him, saying, hey, we only got like a couple of seconds left before we go off air, and they end up going off air while Sting is talking. I'm like, Tony Khan, you can't pay to stay on for a couple of minutes? Like, this is crazy. This is a pay-per-view. This is not like national TV or whatever, but they cut it off or whatever. But let me tell you what, the media scrum, Sting and Darby was there with Tony Khan, and somebody asked about, well, what's going on with the tag titles now? They fucking vacated the titles. Tony Khan vacated the titles. Yes, this was for Sting to win. This whole thing was for Sting to win. I get it. Y'all love Sting. Everybody loves Sting. I get it. But now you vacated the titles and you're talking about, well, we're going to have an excellent tournament so that we can get our new tag champions. And I'm just like, you're fucking kidding me? You take the titles of two young bloods like Ricky Starks and Big Bill, obviously to give a little prize to Sting. And get this, Sting is sitting there saying that it was never in his wildest dream for him to end off with a title and for him to have an undefeated streak in AEW and all these things that he said that he would have never chosen to do. But, it was Tony Khan's idea. Tony Khan is sitting next to Sting, just smiling from ear to ear, looking like, oh, I'm taking credit for everything. Yes, it was all my idea. Thank you. And I'm just like, bitch, this does not look good. This just looks like you're just trying to please people. No, it looks like you're trying to please yourself, to giving people what it is that you see in that little fantasy of yours. Sting said he didn't want any of that shit. It was you who wanted it. And I'm just watching this and I'm just like, he's smiling from ear to ear because, he thinks this is just so pretty. And I'm just like, no, it's not. The tag titles are vacant. I honestly feel like there isn't even really almost any teams in AEW at this point. So what's going to happen from here? I don't know. But when I think about it, Big Bill and Ricky was done wrong for them to just have Sting and Darby defend the title one time. Yes, I get it for Sting to retire with, but even Sting said he did not want that. Tony Khan, fantasy booking ass, wanted that for himself. Not for Sting, not for Darby, for himself. Once again, like I said, he is booking wrestling in a way that he gets to see what's in his mind, that what he wants to see for himself come to life. This has nothing to do with what the fans wanted. The fans would not give two shits if he retired with a title or not. All they wanted to see was him having the career that he deserved and the last match that he deserved to have, and fans would have been just fine with that. This was all Tony Khan's idea, and once again, Sting sitting there saying he didn't want none of that shit. It was Tony. I just don't understand what's the point of that. Now these titles are vacated. Who's going to get it next? No clue. Wouldn't be surprised if FTR or the Young Bucks would have gotten it, one of those two. Oh, and it goes back to Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Their match, they really showed that, hey, individually, we're fucking terror to this company, but as a team, we're putting everybody on notice. We're putting the tag team division on notice. And now that makes me look at, oh shit, they might be the ones to get that damn title. They're going to be in the tournament for sure. And I love them, but Tony Khan, what the fuck? Guys, the Revolution pay-per-view, it was good. Will Ospreay, Takeshita, that's all that matters. That's all that fucking matters. I cannot believe how amazing that match was. I am going to go watch it again. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back Tuesday with a review on Dark Side of the Ring. See you then. Bye.